We are at the very first X3 Expo. Who are we talking to?
Alana Evans.
Dee Siren.
Hottest
What's up, guys?
bitches here.
So fun. The hottest bitches. What's going on with us?
We're actually talking to people about directing porno.
Yeah, we may be like collaborating together on a new venture. So
We're not going to say the names, but
yeah,
I got here and realized I was an old lady. Not in a bad way, in a good way. And that it's my time to take that torch and move on and actually start directing some of the porn that I used to be in back in the day. Talk to some of the right people. Their minds exploded, got super excited. So we're working it.
doing some kind of a all-girl kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe some dick in there.
Yeah, we'll throw some dick in the photos, but
You want to see or stuff to think of sex?
Fuck yeah.
you know, it's kind of both.
It's both.
Honestly.
It's what we would watch. It's kind of stuff that brought us to the industry in the first place. A lot of reality-based sex, fun, excitement. So both.
And I think you know it would really like appeal to sexually straight women, also bisexual women, like honestly any fucking women, because I think that is not something that like we really focus on in the industry is enough like what appeals to fucking women, and like we don't want to always see like you know bubbles and flowy shit. We want to see some dick. Like I love dick, so like yeah, I mean we want to include all that in there and just have some fun, and you know also all ages. Like hello, we still like to have sex. Just because we're a little bit older doesn't mean we don't like some dick.
Like some real MILF action.
Joke. I hate the word.
Like aren't we more
We're
experienced?
okay with it.
It seems like you ladies are more popular than 18-year-olds.
Well, thank you. I would hope so.
I mean, we've had a lot of time to like promote ourselves and put us out there. When you're 18, you're straight off the bus, you know, you're brand spanking new, you got to build that fan base. And so you definitely have the people that look for that. But for us, we've got people that have been watching us for years that I think will be really
Over
excited.
decades.
Decades, exactly. Like my porn career is older than the 18-year-olds, and there's nothing wrong with that in any way, shape, or form. We all have our space here. I think we're just excited to be able to finally offer something that hits to us, hits to our swingers, hits to the other couples
And
out
can
there.
also be inclusive of all those 18-year-olds.
Yes.
Like I want to appeal to
I like
everyone and just say like, you know, we're here just to like make some positive, body positive, age positive, like everything fucking positive. Just have some fucking fun, and like that's why we all do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And
What
why
she
we've
said.
continued to do it for a long time. So
Definitely. So we're excited. Union is doing amazing. We refiled to have our own number outside of any other mother union that existed before. We're going to hit our 1-year anniversary just as APAG by itself, but things are going really well. We're about to open our collective bargaining agreements with the production companies to create our contracts with them, so it's going really good. We're excited. And I'm still president! We just had our elections, and we're really excited. Nobody ran against me. I don't know why. I absolutely
because
know why.
they don't want the work.
They don't
Like
want the
she
fucking work.
works her ass off and nobody fucking pays her, and like she is here to be an advocate for everyone in this.
You bring up an interesting point, and her and I go back.
Yeah.
You still get blowback from the companies and stuff that we don't need a union and you guys are more
You know
competitive?
what? We've actually moved past that page. The companies have started to recognize the benefit of having us, helping negotiate issues when things happen with performers on set. The blowback kind of comes from the people who really wish that, God, my problem is I'm so honest. The blowback comes from the people who aren't doing the fucking work, who think that it's all about being in magazines and newspapers and it's all about press, but that's that much of this amount of work that I do. Like we're talking the biggest cock you've seen in porn is the level of work that I have to do on a regular basis. Along with my Vice President Ruby back there and Kelly Pierce and Amber Lynn. We all work our asses off, and it's a thankless job, but it's so incredibly worth it because performers need that space and know that there's people that they can come to that are a safe space for them.
We come from a different time before social media.
Yeah.
Is it easier or harder now to become a star, I guess?
That's
I would say it's easier. It's definitely, everyone thinks they're a porn star. Even if you don't do porn, they think you're a porn star.
OnlyFans doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of, and that's what we were having a discussion about earlier, is that, and also like even webcam, like I started out on webcam, but until I like really delved into the industry and got to know the industry itself, until you've had on-set experiences and really like worked with other professionals in this industry, you just don't have the experience or the understanding of how the industry works, or really where you're coming from and the history, like of the history of the industry. You can't just dismiss that this is what the past was and like expect everybody to be like on your level. I think there's with webcam, I love webcam. I'm on webcam. Like I use that to stream all the time, like what I do, and that's how I started. But I do think that there is just a separation from understanding, like, are you a webcam girl? Are you an influencer? Or are you a porn star? Like they're still different things, and that's what's hard for public to understand.
Today's market, does a girl have to move double A on the first week?
Fuck no.
No, and
You're
like
empowered.
that
You
is what
own
we
it.
were talking about, is like, starting something ourselves is because we've done it all. We've done all these things. We've been pushed to do these things. We've been asked to do these things. Like, hello, it's like I was nominated for a scene that I literally ended up with a hernia. So, like, I mean, yay, I have to get a hernia to get nominated for a scene. No, like, I mean, honestly, like, you don't have to do that shit to your body. Like, it's honestly, people love you for you. Just be authentic and real, and like, just know who you are as a person, and don't be afraid of your flaws, because that makes you human. And, that's why I love this person, and I love Ruby, and if you want to sustain a career in this industry and continue to be part of this world, like, this is my family. Like, I come back here, and this is like, I'd rather be here because it's home for me, than being at home because I have to pretend to be somebody different. And honestly, it's one of those things that now you can do whatever you want to do, just be you, and people love you for you. They, take your mess and make it your message, and love yourself, and like everything in you makes you unique and interesting. So,
Brands today. Bring it on. Sex more important than personality, or people? Top ramen. Come and girls get boned, or do they look for?
It's way more personality. Like, I have a studio in Houston, SirenXXXstudios.com, MrsSiren.com. Those are my membership websites. There's a couple of other websites connected to Siren Studios, but like in the end, like Mrs. Siren is the fucking star of the studio, because like, I mean, it's all about who I am as a person. Like, why was I doing this in the first place? I'm a hot wife, like, and all the relationship building along with that, and the connection with other people. Like, honestly, I've grown as a person, not only sexually, but emotionally, intellectually, experientially. Intimacy is not always about sex. Intimacy is about everything. Just like this experience here is just another, intimate experience that you get to know each other. So, that's what this industry has taught me, and it just made me like love it even more. So.
And to the men out there, you don't have to do gay porn to get into the industry. Find your own sexuality, be happy with yourself, comfortable, whether it's straight, gay, trans. We all love each other, we're all here for each other, but don't be pressured into anything that you're not ready for, or something that's out of your comfort zone.
And like, do your thing, like get out there and make your own. Like, I've always made my own content. So even though I was injured in a car accident for 5 years, I was able to live off of my content, because it's all about content. Content is king. So
That's
make your
right.
content. That's my one free thing to say. Otherwise, go to mykarmasutra.com and you can have some career consultation or life coaching.
Still intact. The past couple of years, you had much people pass away. Bullying. How much do you and your experience attribute that to this business?
In this industry just mirrors everything else in life. Social media is the devil. People behave on social media in ways they wouldn't behave in real life. I'm an example of that. I've been harassed and canceled for an entire month, and not one of those motherfuckers said shit to me in person here today. So you have to realize that social media isn't real, that it's an energy of angry people spreading things because they're frustrated in their own lives. When you pull back into yourself, it's about finding that own comfort, making yourself happy with who you are at the end of the day. And so as far as it comes to the lives that we've lost, you know, God bless every last one of them. From when we lost August Ames to more recently when we lost Robbie D, it is a mirror of real life. It is a mirror of everything else. So we don't have any more suicides or addiction-related deaths than the rest of the world. It's just amplified because we're considered pseudo-celebrities. So it can be frustrating, but we're so supportive of each other in this space. We do everything we can to be here.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, I think it's just mainstream media likes to blow it up as if like we have a problem with our mental health regardless of the fact that just mental health in general is a problem in this country. Like, and we just don't really focus on mental health, and you know, I think that's number one. Honestly, I promote it. That's like all I actually care about now is to help others in this industry with their mental health, and having someone to come to if your life and your path and your direction, and it's one of those things that you've got to really dig deeper than the mask you put on your face every day, and figure out who you are as a person, and don't be afraid of that person, because again, just live your life and be authentic. So
From a human perspective and health perspective, are drugs and alcohol more prevalent now in business than they were before, or are they less?
I actually, in my personal experience, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I saw a lot more drugs and alcohol abuse issues more prevalent in the industry back in the day. I think that you really have a business filled with influencers and brand builders, and we focus on what we do. We focus on our creativity. A lot of the people here really have their shit together, and people don't expect that because it's the stigma of porn. So honestly, I see a lot less now. And let's be real, everybody's afraid of fentanyl. So things like that, they keep people sober, honestly. And when you're paying attention to what's happening in the drug world and what's happening into real life, you're able to kind of recognize, and no, we've seen a lot less in the industry, which is really nice. But I also think it's because there's more people like myself, like Dee, like Ruby, like, you know, all of the people at APAC, people at Pineapple Support. We're here so performers have a place to go. We are gatekeepers. So we actually get education. I myself have been trained to learn QPR, which is a response to people that are suicidal. So we're here if someone needs help because we know that we're the first step that they go to. So I really think it's a lot better.
And just all about supporting each other. Like, I mean, I think the whole key, like I've always said, the key in the industry is to not look at it like a job, but a career. And I don't know, I've been a swinger, so that was a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. Like, we live on a different plane than the rest of society. We don't fit in the way society expects us to fit in, but that's what makes us so interesting to other people. And don't be afraid of who you are. Like, that's just who you are, and most people are super interested in that. And just keep, you know, positivity in your life. It's just something that literally you have to do every day. So, you know.
A lot of the scenes shot today seem like they're really a lot more rough towards women. Is that a society thing? Do people like get much more to get off to watch a sex scene now?
I think it's a really small bracket, to be totally honest with you, because the porn that I'm watching doesn't have any of that stuff in, and the problem is the microscope is focused on that more abusive porn because it's clickbait. It gets people's attention, it drags the industry, it gives people that ammo, but that's not the kind of porn that I'm seeing. That's not the porn that we're watching. And so many more performers are so empowered by creating their own content, and we're not beating the shit out of ourselves. We're not putting ourselves in that extreme place, you know, and if you're seeing that, that might be that person's kink. That's the first level that we have to deal with, and we can't kink shame. But we're always there to make sure that those models are okay, they're doing what they want to, and that they're comfortable in their space even outside of it. So, but I do reach out. If I see somebody in a super gnarly scene, I'll contact a girl, hey, are you good? Are you okay? Were you happy with how this went? And 9 out of 10 times, I'm like, are you kidding? I love that shit. So it's that part where I might not put myself through a scene like that, but somebody else absolutely enjoys it, and it's not my place to tell them no.
Do you think right now we have a different type of person getting into business? Because when you got in, you love sex and it was fun and it was crazy. Now it seems like people want social media and all this other shit.
They're influencers. No, I agree, but OnlyFans changed the market in that way. That's the space that it created for people to own their own sexualities, whatever it may be, whatever their kink is. And it's really opened up that door for models like us to have fun in our space. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I always had my own thing. Like, I use mainstream porn to market myself so that I could build my own brand, and you can come find me and pay me, and I get all the royalties. So, but honestly, I can say on the violence, I think that's just in fucking general in society.
Yeah.
I think that we are perfectly fine with violence in our society. I think it's something I love serial killer shows. Like, I can't say that I don't. Like,
Murder
I mean,
porn
it's something that I enjoy. But the fact is that in my real life, and to those who I work with and the coworkers and people that I try to come across, is that it's not necessary. If that's not your thing, don't try to make it your thing. Don't push yourself to the point that you're doing things that are inauthentic to you. If you are super into BDSM, then be super into BDSM. If you're super into a certain kink, then do that fucking kink. I'm a squirter. I mean, that's just gonna fucking happen. Don't ask me to tame it down or stop her, because it ain't gonna happen. I'm fussy. Yeah, I'm fussy. Well, guess what? My vagina's fussier than you. So the fact is that it's just gonna happen. And it may be a kink to somebody, but that's just my body. And the fact is that, you know, us being MILFs may be a kink to somebody, and it's just different.
Right.
So I completely accept everyone's kink, everyone's fantasy. I think it's good to communicate about it. I also think it's great to talk about it. Like, I think it's number one to open a communication and actually have a fucking discussion about these things, because people watch all kinds of shit and they have no idea what's happening in what they're watching. So you may have something that you think is completely painful. I like girl arms. You know, I mean, and it's not painful. You know, I mean, it's something that I enjoy. It's all about consent. Like, fucking be consensual in your relationships, and this applies to everyone. Like, I don't care if it's your husband or your wife. You need to get consent from each other for what you do, but don't be afraid to push the limits and see what's happening and, like, try new shit out. Like, I was the girl who never said no, but that's okay. Like, now I learned my boundaries. Boundaries are a good thing too. So, like, I mean, don't be afraid of, like, what's out there, but on the other hand, like, just do what feels good to you. And I think really it's just mainstream society focusing on the fucking negative, because that's what they do. And I just say, just don't pay attention to them.
All that.
All that.
Thank you, ladies.
You're so welcome.